of all my employees, you're the one that's been the most honest with me over time about my appearance.
Okay.
And it's not always easy for me to hear.
Oh.
And sometimes it's very painful for me to hear. But could you just tell me how you think I'm looking these days?
Oh, how you looking these days? Well,
be honest. And you don't have to be mean if you don't on purpose.
First of all, we need to be relative. We need to be relative to your age. Okay. I'm not going to assess you as if you were a 20-year-old. Do you look as good as a 20-year-old? No, of course not. You wouldn't expect to. So there's that. So you got, age and, there are certain, look, you're a nice guy. I mean, what I'm saying is,
Jesus
what I'm saying,
Christ.
No, look, there are,
wait a minute, I'm a nice guy?
Physically speaking, you have strengths. Okay.
Let's hear
you've got
about
great
those.
posture. And for a taller guy, you know what? Most people, when they hit puberty, people that are tall, they kind of developed a hunch stance because they're trying to diminutize themselves because they feel a little imposing.
No, I didn't hit puberty. No, okay. I just stayed, but I stayed erect.
No, for a tall man, you are quite erect. You stand with good posture.
But why you can say, clearly I work out. Isn't that clear to you?
Well, I know that you work out because I know you, and it's come up in discussion. Yeah, sure.
But when you look at me,
when I look at you,
be honest. Come on, you can tell I'm in pretty good shape.
Who knows what you would look like if you didn't work out? So by that reckoning, I'm guessing that working out has certain benefits to your. You're talking about visually. You want to know how you visually look?
Yeah. When I walk into a room, what are you thinking?
Well, look, a man is a complex sum of his parts, and then some. I don't just dissect your physical appearance and separate it out from everything else. When you walk into a room, I say there's a man, and he's got some strengths.
This is like the worst day of my life.
What can I?
I don't see why it's so hard for you to say.
Right
I hear a lot of compliments from some of the people that work here, younger people, and they say, "Oh, you look really good. You look thin. You look like you work out." And you don't say any of those things.
Well, I don't know what kind of feedback you're looking for. Do you want thin? Well, sure. I mean, you're not obese, so I mean. I've seen you different weights over the years. That's okay.
There were different strains and pressures over time. Sometimes I probably self-medicated with food, but I think I've got it all under control.
I mean,
now.
Look, this is not 2004, early 2005.
Oh, that's that's the period when you really thought I went to shit, didn't you?
No, you looked great. That's when you looked great. Late
That's
2004.
when I looked great?
No, you had a good few years, even through 2007.
Few years.
Yeah.
No, I can hear fine.
At your peak. When
what do you mean my peaks?
Is this the lowest you've ever been? No.
A lot of people think I look younger than, say, a 60-year-old man would normally look. Do you think that's true?
Yeah, I'd say so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not, 60, is that like a senior citizen? But by the strictest definition, I don't know when do you not have to take your shoes off at the airport? 62? No, I'm just saying, I don't understand what's considered elderly, but you do not look elderly.
Thank you.
If people think 60 is elderly,
and I'm pretty spry,
you do
I
look
think
young.
there's a good chance I could take you in a fight. I think I would tear you apart.
Yeah, you've got height. Yeah. No, you do
No,
have
not
muscle.
just height, but I have strong muscle tone.
Absolutely.
I could totally rip you apart.
Yeah, even at your worst in 2001, 2.
I was upset. There was a lot of horrible things happening in the world.
Yeah.
I ate the pizza pie. What's the problem? Every now and then, terrible things would happen, and I would compensate by eating the pizza pie.
So when you say you had a bad year, nutritionally speaking, what are we talking? Late night binges? What were you doing to gain that?
I was doing everything.
I'm just saying, how does it happen?
I wasn't Orson Welles.
Explain to me.
No one was writing in and saying that I was the tub of late night.
What I'm saying, was it just that every meal was slightly bigger? Were you just eating late at night before being at rest?
What my issue. My issue is I can really lock it down, but then, like you, I have times of insanity.
Okay.
And there were some times of insanity.
But are you eating hot dogs, large quantities of hot dogs?
Anything I can get into my fat face.
Right.
Like a snake, I would unhinge my jaw and I would shove stuff in there.
Was it portion size that got you? Was there
it was everything.
Right.
Everything. And yes, I was somewhat monstrous for months, several months, maybe in 2001. But then I snapped right back into this immaculate form, and you're still beating me over the head because I went off the rails for a couple of months.
I'm answering the question that was asked of me. You look better than you did back in the early 2000s.
Okay, thanks a lot. And you say that I'll never get back what I had in the late 2000s.
By the way, I've deteriorated as well. I'm answering.
No, we're not talking about mentally. We're talking about physically.
Yes, I've deteriorated as well. I would expect you to deteriorate.
I'm not deteriorating. I every day I get better and better, stronger and stronger.
He looks good. For
Yeah.
For what?
I don't even think 4. I think I look fine.
You look fine.
for-
Fine is a good word for it. Fine is the
Okay.
perfect word.
This is terrible.
You know,
Eduardo,
you nailed
would you
it.
weigh in?
Sure.
I mean, is the only thing he's saying? Do you think he's being a little harsh, or do you think he's accurate? You can be say whatever you want, and then you can work someplace else tomorrow.
For
No one said.
That's
Why does it always for that
I'm saying
age?
we see the world through a subjective lens. You understand? We consider a number of possibilities. You don't exist in a vacuum. Your physical appearance doesn't exist in a vacuum. When I look at you, I think of your life circumstance. I think of your aura. I think of so many things that are far more important than your physical shell. Physically, sure, you're deteriorating, as we all are, and it will only get worse. And not even in a linear scale. It will be exponential.
It's going to go
The
fast.
differ-
Do you think I'll go downhill
The difference
fast?
between 60 and 70 will be far more dramatic than the difference between 50 and
I don't
60.
think so. I think 60 and 70, I'm going to do pretty well. I think 70 to 72 is when I go right in the shitter. I think that's when I become just a total mess.
What I'm saying, there will be times when you look back on this video, for example, and you say, God, I was an Adonis back then.
Right.
Look at me now. I'm saying this is, from this point forward, as good as it's going to get for you. Now, sure, you can make certain improvements to your lifestyle,
Right.
nutritionally speaking.
But that's not going to change that much.
And this is the beauty of the human experience. There's a rise and a fall. This is the period where, look, I didn't make these rules of nature, but they exist. Your body is useless to human evolution at this point. We know that you have value to us, but Mother Nature doesn't know this. Your genetic programming doesn't know this. You are, as you know, potentially everyone in this room, a couple of very good-looking men in here, you are deteriorating.
Thank you.
You are in the decline, the decrescendo, the plummet.
All right. Well, this has been fun.
Well, I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
You were saying that you were kind of beating around the bush. Those 2 bad years, the decline years.
Oh, yeah.
What was wrong with him in those years? In your in your estimation?
Oh.
And thank you, Frank.
Yeah.
No, my pleasure.
You see, I'm being prompted to be critical, and then I will be criticized for being critical. What's worth mentioning is when people do decline, sometimes they decline in different ways. For whatever reason, your own particular deficiency was somewhat unique among the people that I know. Sometimes I see people get bellies. I see people, have lose muscle mass. You had a very specific deficiency. Your face and your body itself stretched horizontally. You widened. Your face widened. I don't understand the mechanics of it.
I was
because
with child.
what I'm saying is,
I was carrying a baby.
unless there was
I was carrying a baby.
okay, so now, in case there was like an injection of human growth hormone to widen the bone structure of your jaw, I don't understand the mechanics
Look
of
at my
it.
face now.
Now-
Does it look the same? Is it
Now
too wide?
you look okay. You're not, is
Okay.
it too wide?
Why don't you fucking say I look good? I'm a good-looking man. Why can't you say that?
You have strengths. You
All
definitely
right,
have
that's it.
strengths.
We're out.
You definitely
That's
have
it.
strengths.
We're out.